You know, people on the deepest spiritual path tend to, without realizing it, want to have their cake and eat it. Meaning, they want to keep the self, good, maybe even the bad or the negative, but certainly the good parts. Get rid of the bad parts, the negative parts, and live in the clear light of being. But without understanding that the kind of awakening that most teachers, Amodama, my wife, and maybe that includes me, I speak about the path of revelation, of embracing humanity, of being unafraid of the shadow. But this whole path of what people have come to call non-duality, but that's just a mental description. But this journey is ruthless. It's total. You don't really get to keep the good bits in the way that you understand we're talking about here. You don't just get to keep the good bits and throw away the nasty bits and then carry on as if nothing had happened but everything had happened. It just doesn't work like that. This is a total experience, a total, not even experience, a total revelation, a total undoing. There are a lot of people who carry a lot of stuff in their bodies, in their body system, in their electrical body system, in the chakra body system, in the nervous system, and even in the physical system, in the physical armoring of the system, in the liver system, in the kidney system, in the heart system. All of these become, part of the same fortress that we walk around with. And in my experience, both my personal experience and working with people, there isn't an area of the human life that isn't utterly and totally impacted by opening, by surrender, by deepening when it starts getting real. As long as it's in the domain of the mind, as long as it's more like a philosophical, intellectual, armchair kind of conversation, which is very valid, there's no problem with that. As long as it's in those realms, then it's kind of okay. And if one is not carrying too much trauma, i.e. one has had a relatively easy go of it, easy life of it, and escaped some of the more dysfunctional, wounding, trauma, horror of childhood, and there are people like that, then actually spirituality and realization can be with a proviso in there, not necessarily, but it can be actually relatively smooth ride. In fact, awakening, realization can be a smooth ride for some people, regardless of the past that they've had. Nothing is predicated on anything else. But if you've had wounding, trauma, pain, grievance, abuse, if you're carrying betrayal, if you're carrying grievance, if you're carrying rage or anger, if you're carrying years of a kind of narcissistic abuse that's been inflicted upon you, and your sensitivity and the whole of your emotional, physical, mental body, then the closer you get to the flame, the closer you get to the truth, the closer you get to the energy of pure acceptance or total acceptance. And the more the system is going to be very seriously impacted by it. Energy is released. You've got energy in your system. You are energy. You've got energy within you, and there's a lot of energy that ends up being trapped, for want of a better term, trapped in the physical, electrical, energetic, biological organism, i.e. in the body emotional system, in the heart, in the lungs, in the gut, in the digestive system, in the nervous system, in the chakra system, in the glands, in the thyroid, in the adrenals. They're damn everywhere, it's everywhere. And this is life force that's been suppressed, pushed away, because to a certain extent that happens to us in childhood. It can happen all other times, but it does happen in childhood. And so when that starts to become stirred up, either through body work, through somatic work, through being in a field of love, through being in the environment of release, therapy can do it. Generally, talking therapies don't really get to the activation of the energy body, but good body workers, any of these things, or just the energy of the times that we're in, can then start to impact the whole of the system. I can't express that enough. The whole of the system is involved in the awakening journey. And so in that sense, going back to what I was saying, we don't get to keep the good bits and throw away the bad bits. It's all in there. The whole thing. Everything. At least that's what it feels like for a lot of people. It's a whole organism activation. And to fight with that, exacerbates it. To fight with that kind of makes it worse. To fight with it is fighting with yourself, is fighting with that which needs to be released. Because currently, for most people, the mental, emotional, physical body, the container that we could call ourselves, is very, very tight and very, very small, because we've become shrunken through life, through wounding, through culture, through egoic obsession, through the nature of how this world works. We've become shrunken energetically. And so our container, the container which is us, hasn't got enough space in it, hasn't got enough depth in it, hasn't got enough maturity in it to be able to handle all the things that come up on the journey. All the revelations, all the emotions, all the past emotions, all the old wounds, all the old anger, all the tears, all the sorrow, all the grief, etc., etc. Because the container is only like this big. And so part of the invitation is to know that and to seek in many ways through a willingness to bring attention to the growing of the container. Pay attention to the body. I don't usually talk about the body, even though, I've had years of experience of the body in relationship to healing and in relationship to awakening, because that was my path of 10 to 15 years of chronic illness that I didn't medicate, that actually I healed, but that healing was not a linear journey of, oh, what did you do? Oh, well, I did this, 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 and this. I followed my path through the forest of shadows, through the depth, through the pain, through the suffering, through the undoing, through the serious unraveling. I don't know how I did it, except by the love of a good woman and the food of a good woman, and a willingness to not suppress anything anymore. So to be all in. It's not a phrase that we even speak of these days. All in. Every part of me, in. I'm in. My old teacher used to refer to that. Are you in or are you out? I'm all in, man, I said. I'm all in. When you say you're all in, and if you give yourself to that, then you don't get to keep, get your cake and eat it. You don't get to keep the good bits in the way that we think and throw away the bad bits. All in. And that means there's an unraveling. That means there's a deepening. But that means also that by and by the allowing of these energies to flow without restricting them, without recoiling from them, we sort of grow our container, the container of us. So therefore, that container, as it grows, we can contain much more of our experience. We can contain much more of the movement of the energies within us. That's what this is about. That's what this video is ultimately about, is being able to contain the energies that flow within us without being so reactive to them, scared of them, reactive within them. That comes with practice, that comes with maturity, that comes with willingness, that comes with failure, and it doesn't come with force, but it does come with courage. And in that sense, to continue this conversation, it's almost inherent, or despite the fact that we live in a lot of non-dual speak these days, where people are disregarding and not interested in the body, because ultimately, as the masters of India say, I am not the body. That to the Western mind is licensed to completely neglect the body and do what the hell we want. Doesn't matter. And I'm afraid I'm here to completely throw that idea out of the window and say, actually, you might not be the body, but you still got one. It's still here. It's still included, whether you like it or not. And so it needs, two paths. Don't care about it. Do whatever you want with it, like you might have done, or actually start to pay attention to it in a deep way. And that means to nourish it, to detox it, to feed it, to love it, to heal it, without being overly neurotic about it. You see, the people who are neglectful, honestly, a lot of the time about the body, who just put whatever they want in because that's what they're used to with the sugars and the carbohydrates and the fats, and then they're more obsessed with the body than they imagine. It's just they're trying to keep it at bay, trying to keep the the energy of it at bay, because a clean body system allows energy to flow in and out, and it becomes sensitive. And we don't like that. We don't like being sensitive, right? We don't like being too sensitive. And yet the sensitivity is waking up within you. And so all of these strategies of the sugary foods or the fatty foods or the carbohydrates or the pastries or the, whatever it is, are all strategies to avoid the raw bones of how we are. And it doesn't really work. As a lot of people say, you'll know about it when you get ill. You know about it when you get sick. And I mean, getting sick is a doorway, is a profound doorway, as I know, is a profound doorway to either liberate us in some way or to crush us. But before that happens, it's worth paying attention to the energy system, even to the chakra system, to the digestive system. See how you're digesting food, because how you digest food is how you digest life. And how you digest life is how you digest experience. Experience, life, food. They're all things that come into us through the portal of our being. Some through the mouth, some through the eyes, but always into the energy system, the container of the vessel that we are. So pay attention to the digestive system. Heal. Fall in love with your body without being attached to it. Exercise it. Get sunlight. Go into the sun. All of these things contribute in a very deep way so that the journey deepens. The container grows, the journey deepens. And then all of this energy that is released when we come out of the mental understanding or the mental talk of awakening or realization or whatever it might be called, and it actually starts to release the energy within our system, because we have to be somehow develop capacity to grow through that and to be able to handle our own energies. Because then when we can handle our own energies, we can actually begin to handle other people's energies. Because until that time, we can't. That's why Eckhart Tolle would talk about the pain body, the pain, the stickiness of the pain body. One person's pain body over there starts activating another person's pain body over there, and another person and another person. Pretty much you've got a room full of pain bodies. That's trouble. But actually, if the deeper you go, the more profoundly present you can become, and the more your container grows, and the more relaxed and at peace you are with yourself, somebody's pain body over there doesn't touch you. You don't care. It's not activated, because pain body is a kind of virus. So, grow your container. It's a journey. It's not a destination. It's not up ahead. It's right here, right now. And it's not an ABC. It's a willingness. It's an intelligence. Okay, I've said enough. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.